Hi everybody, welcome to Like Minds. This is our look at wellness really, and looking at companies or people who share the same values as ourselves. And I'm really pleased to welcome Rosie Dickinson, who's the founder of the Healthy Juice Company based in Oxfordshire. And I wanted to have a chat with her about organics and everything organic and her juice company. And just really spend some time with her talking about the benefits of juicing and cleansing and organising. Hello. Just going to bring her in. So just wanting to talk to her about. Oh, and here she is.
Good morning,
Hi,
Nicole.
Good morning.
How
Good
are
morning.
you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm really well on this beautiful sunny day. I hope it is with you too.
Well, it's raining, but actually I think it's calmed down now. Yeah, it's looking very blue outside. So, well, thank you for doing this, Rosie. I mean, I was just explaining that we're doing this thing called Like Minds, where we're talking to various different people, people who share the same values as us. And you had actually contacted us and introduced yourself. And I'm so glad you did, because it's been really good to hear a little bit more about what you're doing and get to know what you're doing. And and it's a subject that's obviously close to my heart. I'm a juicer myself. I've done juice cleanses myself. So, but I'm really interested to hear more. So tell me a bit about yourself and why you set up the Healthy Juice Company.
Well, Nicole, I've always, since I can remember, been into natural health. Always gone to my diet to get my nutrients. You know, since I can remember, since I was responsible for my own shopping, I've always looked at the label, always avoided chemicals. That was just instilled in me. And so juicing was just a natural progression of that. I've always been in the food industry. My trade is a chef, actually. I was a caterer for about 16 years. You know, went to catering college initially after leaving school, worked as a chef in London for some really wonderful companies there, set up my own catering company, had that for 16 years, but that took its toll. Physically, you know, it was so much stress because everything was so last minute. I always made everything, you know, by hand. Everything was so fresh. But I was always eating on the run, eating late, had no routine. My body, you know, was always aching. I wasn't kind to my body. I wasn't respecting it. And so juicing really came along without me looking for it. I don't know if you're very spiritual, Nicole, and you believe in the universe sending you messages, but juicing came to me from two different directions, and so those messages were really too loud to ignore. And so I switched. 6.5 years ago, we launched the Healthy Juice Company.
It's kind of like a heart's calling, isn't it? You know, where you sort of, feel the universe is going, oi, and the physical world is going, listen.
And, this is what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah. That's great.
And so as a caterer, I've always gone for the best quality I can possibly find. Always. I never ever have gone the cheap route, you know, cut corners. Never have I ever done that. And so the Healthy Juice Company reflects that as well. It's the highest possible quality you can get, you know, from a juice company. So we've continued that through.
And your juices are all organic?
Completely organic, and there's two main reasons for that, Nicole. One is that when I launched initially, I launched as a detox company. We offered juice cleanse programs. Just juice cleansing in a nutshell is, in one quick sentence, is where you rest your digestive system for a few days whilst you drink a series of juices and nut milks throughout each day. And the whole purpose of that, you rest your digestive system because digestion takes so much energy. And if your energy is being used digesting, there's no free energy to use in lots of other areas of the body. And so we rest the digestive system, then that gives the body the opportunity to really rest, heal, regenerate, whilst you're flooding your cells with nutrients from all these amazing organic juices. So that's really what a juice cleanse is. It supports the liver through detoxification.
And just allows the body to redirect the energies into other areas that is maybe neglected.
Yeah, as I say, you know, regeneration, regrowth, things like that, absolutely. So for to be organic, number one, organic farming makes total sense anyway. It's back to basics and back to nature, and that's again really instilled in me. It's about nurturing the land. It's about avoiding all of these man-made toxic chemicals that are used on conventional fruit and vegetable growing, you know, on the farms. Now, our bodies, we didn't evolve to process those chemicals. They're totally alien to our bodies. And so organic farming, you know, avoids those toxic chemicals. And also organic fruits and vegetables, many of them have a higher nutrient content. And so that was basic, that's exactly what we needed. So for those two reasons, primarily, that's why we went organic. But you know, organic farming just looks after the land.
I once met a biodynamic farmer actually, and he said to me that his job is he's in service to the soil, and then the soil is in service to the seeds and the plants, and that's his job actually, is just to look after the soil. Everything else nature will do, but his job is just to ensure that the soil, the environment is good. And it's and it makes a difference, because only the strongest survive. You know, so and without the chemicals in them, then the plant's able to gift us all that, you know, it has to offer. So that's great. And I noticed you also cold press. Can you tell me the benefits of cold pressing?
Yeah, well, cold pressing is the absolute highest quality, the most superior method of juice extraction. And so what happens is the produce is firstly shredded. It then falls into like a muslin bag, where it sits between two metal hydraulic plates, which come together and press that bag and the shredded fruits and vegetables at a phenomenal rate. That it squeezes the living daylights out of that pulp, and what you're left with is a really dry, pale fibre. So cold pressing, it's a very slow method, but very precise, very powerful. It extracts a higher rate of juice out of the fruits and vegetables, for one thing, and also the nutritional values have been tested side by side between cold pressing and using a centrifugal machine. So the same juice was made on both machines, and the vitamin C ratio from cold pressing was far higher. Also, cold pressing, the nutrients are retained for 3 whole days at a lovely you know, level, at a constant level, before they then start to naturally decline. Whereas if you use a machine like a centrifugal with fast moving parts, which introduces heat and oxygen, that's great if you're going to drink your juice straight away, but the nutrients deplete really, really rapidly.
Okay, so that's important for you, obviously, because you've got to make the juices and then ship them out to where they need to get to. So you've got a sort of a little bit more of a window to,
We have,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, we make them to order anyway. We
Mm,
make them to order anyway, Nicole, and we deliver them, you know, the morning directly after pressing. And so they're super, super fresh. That's another thing, we don't preserve in any way.
mm,
And so the products that you receive from us are as fresh as if you've made them yourself, but
mm,
far higher in nutrients, assuming you don't have a cold press machine. And also, you know, they're professionally blended with lots of different ingredients that do different things in your body. For
mm.
example, one reason why I connected with you, Nicole, well, you believe in the organic farming
Yeah, yeah, I
dynamic
do.
as well. But, you know, getting nutrients into your body, it's a basic thing. We should leave school knowing all of this.
Yeah,
Oh, I'd love it if we had a little like window on our arm where we could, right, we need some vitamin A today, we're a little bit deficient. You know, it's all a minefield, and I think it's very confusing for people.
yeah,
But
yeah.
basically, there's so many processes that go on in our body, and those processes all need different nutrients, sometimes different combinations of nutrients to
Mm,
perform properly. And so
mm.
our hair, I wrote a few notes actually so that I really
Oh,
got the right
great. Thank
information.
you.
But, you know, different nutrients for hair. Some nutrients promote hair growth. Some
Yeah,
nutrients, you know, if you're deficient, your hair will be brittle.
yeah,
Sometimes you can get hair loss. That could be a
yeah,
sign of nutrient deficiency as well.
yeah, maybe.
So amazing nutrients for hair. One, for hair growth, you're looking at vitamin A. You're talking carrots, lovely orange red fruits and vegetables for the carotenoids.
Yeah,
Hair growth protein. I think as a general rule, people think of protein as being animal products. But
yeah,
actually, you know, I've got a list here: spinach, broccoli, chard, the green leafy vegetables, mushrooms, asparagus, lentils, cauliflower,
yeah,
all provide protein. Iron, really a key nutrient because it carries oxygen to your
mm,
cells.
mm,
So you need oxygen in your cells. Your hair
yeah.
needs oxygen to grow.
Yeah,
Omega
it's true, and
3.
iron's a massive one actually. That you know, and as a hairdresser working, you know, I can sense it if someone is lacking in iron. I can see it in their hair, and I always recommend, you know, like if their hair has made that sudden change, to say, you know, you might want to get your iron checked or thyroid, or you know, but yeah, iron is a huge factor to quality hair quality. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what you just said, Nicole, is really important to tell everyone too. You can test your nutrient levels. You can get home tests. You know,
yeah,
doctors will, if you go along, you can
yeah,
ask generally for a liver function test, things like that. But, you know, the climate that we're in, doctors are busy enough as it is right now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
And if you're
literally
fortunate
something.
enough that you can afford, you can actually, yeah, there are companies out there now that you can just send samples into and get tested for various different things.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you do send hair, you
Yeah,
know,
you do.
even,
Absolutely.
yeah, also for toxicity.
Yeah,
You know, you can find if you've got metal toxicity with a hair sample.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
amazing. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely,
Great.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
great. So how often should somebody juice cleanse, you know, and for how long? Tell us a little bit more about a juice cleanse, because I'm presuming at this time of year, we've all obviously just had Christmas, and this is a sort of like a nice window of opportunity here to do that. How often, how regularly, and how would we go about it?
Well, as you say, first of all, this time of year, everyone sort of sits and reflects, don't they? We've got the time and the space. The craziness of getting ready for Christmas is now over. Our to-do list, we can screw it up and or delete it from our computer. That's all done and dusted. And we've now got time and space to relax and ponder and reflect and think about moving forward. What are we going to do better? How are we going to look after our bodies better? What are we going to include in our diet, or potentially remove if it's not doing us any good? And what new habits are we going to start moving forward to support our bodies? Well, juice cleansing is something that people often do in January, a January detox. But do you know, I'm going to be a bit controversial here and say that it's not ideal to do a juice cleanse if you've just had a huge purge of really rich foods, alcohol, all of those Christmas treats that we flood our homes with over a few days. And so I would say, you know, January, the first week of January isn't the ideal time. Just let your body settle back down into your normal diet. Start getting more fruits and vegetables in there. Start drinking more water, get some more fresh air, and then think about starting your juice cleanse. So the regularity of a juice cleanse, Nicole, we recommend either 1 day a week, 3 days a month, or 5 days a quarter, i.e. a 5-day cleanse every 3 months. The 1 day a week is really just for maintenance. If you're new to juice cleansing and you do a 1-day cleanse, you wouldn't see the benefits. The benefits will all happen on the inside. You wouldn't see physical evidence. You need a 3-day minimum, I would say. If you're new to juice cleansing, I would say 3 days is the way to go. Because after 3 days, you feel the energy, you know, you start to see people start complimenting you even after 3 days. My goodness, your eyes are so bright. What have you done?
and your skin looks clear.
Even just 3 days is amazing. And why is that? It's just because you've flooded your body with beautiful nutrients.
And is there a period of time that we should avoid, maybe as women, during our menstrual cycles, or is there an optimum, you know, just after a menstrual cycle, or does that not really affect when is good to juice cleanse? I just think that there's a lot happening for a female, especially at that time, and it would be better to do before or after or during. You know, when is the best time to do your 3 days a month?
I think that's a great question, Nicole, and actually that's not something that scientifically I've looked at, but just going by how the body feels when you are going through that time of the month, I think it's not a time to cleanse, because you're already you know, your hormones are all over the place. You're already feeling low of energy, and you know, it's, for some people it's a battle for a few days anyway. It's a physical battle. You can feel really low and all of that. So I would say I wouldn't during that time. I would juice cleanse in between your cycle for sure.
And then the 5 days you say was a quarter. Every quarter you do a 5 days. And what difference should you notice with a 5-day and a 3-day?
Well, a 5-day is a deeper cleanse. It's a really deeper cleanse. You know, detoxing, as I mentioned earlier, quite often there's a lot that goes on the inside that you don't notice. We don't notice our deficiencies unless we start to get symptoms, and then we go and check out, why am I feeling like this? Or why have I got a rash? What, you know, and then you find out you're deficient of something. And I think it's how you feel, Nicole. As I say, you will have provided your body with an incredible amount of nutrients through your juice cleanse. If you did a test at the beginning and a test at the end, juice cleansing is all about supporting your liver to flush out those toxins. So if you had a toxin test at the beginning and one at the end, you would see a big difference. And there's so many benefits of juice cleansing, mentally as well as physically. To spend 5 days, it's really me time. You're investing in your body. You've made that decision. When you do a juice cleanse with us, we send you some preparation guidelines as well, and it's all about doing joyful things through that time, that aren't
And
food based.
yeah, and maybe
Some
digital detox too. That would be good, wouldn't it? If we digital detox
Absolutely.
when we are detoxing, because it's a real time for inward reflection, isn't it? And also I find the discipline is really good for my being. There's just the discipline of actually not reaching for things, or
Yeah.
it really helps the soul, that discipline. So yeah, so we're not only benefiting on a physical level, are we? We're also benefiting on a more spiritual, higher perspective.
I think
So,
that's key. That really is key. Yeah, it's like you get to day 5, you're like, I did this. I did
yeah,
this for five
yeah,
days. You need
yeah,
some strong you need some strong willpower. Once you've done it once, you know what it involves, and off you go. It becomes a normal thing in your life. But if you're
yeah,
quite new to it, I mean, people say, isn't it dangerous to not eat? Absolutely, it's not. On the contrary, it's so health giving to have a few
yeah.
days and you're not fasting actually. You're not eating solid food, but you're doing the opposite of fasting because you're
But I
providing
think
so
all the
much.
great all the great spiritual believers tend to say that is a good thing to actually do, is to allow your digestive system to just rest at points throughout the year. So yeah, yeah, that we
Um,
never actually rest, do we? Our stomachs and intestines and
No, and we eat very late in the day, and we eat
mm,
on the hoof.
mm,
We eat walking down the street. Going back to my catering days, I was, eating so quickly. I was almost swallowing food whole. I mean, no wonder. Yeah, digestive issues. Yeah,
yeah,
was the main
yeah.
reason I had to leave catering. But we're not kind, are we? We're not kind to our
No,
bodies.
we're not kind at all. Um, so we have done a bit of collaboration, haven't we,
We
together,
have, yeah.
which is exciting.
It's
And
very exciting.
we are going to be offering a £400 giveaway to one lucky person who is local to Oxfordshire, who you can actually connect with, and we can connect with. So we're going to be doing that on New Year's Day, I
Yeah,
believe. So
yeah.
that will be a nice thing to watch out for. So just keep watching this space, and we will announce that together. And I'm really excited about that. Really
I think
excited.
that's going to be fantastic. Like,
Yeah,
who won't want that lovely prize? I can't wait to
yeah,
announce what we're gonna offer someone. So that'll be really exciting, Nicole. And I'm so excited to host you on my Instagram
yeah,
live this Tuesday at 10 o'clock. So the 29th, 10
yeah,
o'clock at the Healthy Juice Company, where
yeah,
I'll be asking you all about natural hair care and how you got into the
yeah,
biodynamic avenue and things like that.
yeah.
I'm excited to hear all about that.
Yeah, it's really, for me, it's really exciting. I really, I mean, organic and biodynamic organic, it's, to me, it's the way forward. And yeah, and we've chatted, haven't we? And there's a lot we share, values that we share. So yeah, I would love to talk more. I'm never shy of talking about good products and biodynamic, and how to bring the best out of our hair and our scalp. So yeah, I really look forward to that.
Yeah,
So
and
go on.
no, absolutely. And the other connection we have is obviously we're all about minimizing chemicals, especially
Yeah,
in your body products, your
yeah,
your
yeah,
self-care products, and shampoos and all the hair care products come into that
yeah,
category. So
yeah. Reducing our
really
chemical
important.
footprint and our waste. Like for Chi, we're very much into. I mean, I know that your products are all in glass bottles, our products are in glass bottles. You know, we're trying to limit our waste and really be observant, because actually someone did say that to me, that if we are prepared to put waste into Mother Earth, then we're equally prepared to put waste in our own bodies. And actually they do run hand in hand. You know, if you're prepared to drop that wrapper or not be concerned with what's going to happen to that wrapper, or even purchase that wrapper, then you're equally not necessarily going to have that same concern for your own body. Because so yeah, which opened my eyes a little bit wider to like waste, and yeah, how we can make a difference. And glass ultimately, you know, will break down back into sand if it is discarded, but actually we can use glass, we can use, you know, we can continue to use glass. So
we reuse our bottles actually when we can.
yeah,
We reuse them.
yeah,
So
we reuse ours. Well, lovely. Okay, well, I'll look forward to the 29th when we get together at 10 o'clock. And
absolutely.
thank you everyone for joining us. Really, it's been lovely to sort of see the messages coming up. So thank you everyone for joining us. We will announce on New Year's Day, if you can't make the next live, we will announce on New Year's Day the offer that we're giving. And yeah, and thank you, Rosie, for talking to us about the Healthy Juice Company. Really, really grateful that you've given your time to share with us your story and the importance of juicing. And I'll look forward to chatting to you further.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure, Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Lots of love, everybody. We will see you on the 29th, hopefully. Take care. Happy Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, welcome to this special pelvic floor live. Let me just sort out my seat. Welcome to this special pelvic floor live where we're going to be talking about pelvic floor tension. Okay, so this is something I think that doesn't get talked about enough, and it's really important for so many of us. Hello Jenny, nice to see you. It's really important for so many of us. So I'm just going to wait and see if some more people are joining before I get going with the content. I'm going to try and...
Hi everybody, welcome to